at this time, I would like to welcome Baba Kalyani, the chairman of Kalyani Group as well, and request him to give us his words of wisdom. So you'd like to?
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Satish Reddy, the scientific advisor to Raksha Mantri, Government of India. Sri Rajiv Kumar Sen, economic advisor in charge of DOMD at MOD. Sri Reddy, the police commissioner of Hyderabad. Mr. Agarwal, chairman of IESA. All the office bearers of IESA, and my friends from the electronic industry. I am not from the electronic industry, so I should make this rather clear. I would like to pick up in my talk from where Dr. Satish Reddy left. I think he gave a really good direction to what needs to be done in the industry and what the future looks like. You know, talked about the Akash missile, the indigenous content, many other systems that are being developed, and the need that just one organization, which is the Defense Research Organization, cannot do everything, and industry needs to participate in this, both in manufacturing as well as creating product. So I'm going to talk to you on this topic. A little bit with my experience on the other side of defense. Fortunately or unfortunately, electronics comes in every defense product. In products like missiles, it's probably a very large content of electronics. In products like guns, it's a small content of electronics, but electronics is pretty much there. And my views are the following. You know, there is a huge amount of capability in India in terms of people who understand this technology, people who can manufacture this product, and people who want, and there is a lot of passion with people who want to do more. There must be more than 10, 15,000 engineers between Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, and some other places which are specialized in the area of electronics. And in spite of that, we as a nation keep importing something like $60 to $80 billion worth of electronic hardware every year. And this is not just pertaining to defense. This pertains to everything. But at the end of the day, when you look at 2025, which is 7 years from now, every electronic product that you use in defense, you're going to use in an automobile, you're going to use in your home appliances, you're going to use in your day-to-day life, you like it or not. Whether they are sensors, you know, whether they are night vision devices, whether they are video cameras, whether they are image processing systems, whether they are radars, almost everything is going to be in your life. And that's how, you know, hopefully our life is going to get far more efficient than what it is today. And therefore, the need is for us to understand what are the building blocks in building an electronics industry of a size that India needs. After all, we are a population of 1.3 billion people, you know, almost the same as China. You look at China's electronic industry's output, and you look at India's electronic industry output, we are a dwarf compared to that. You don't even have to go to China. You can go to Taiwan, where I think less than 15% of the land mass in Taiwan, you can even do anything. And that country has an electronic industry that is, you know, multiple times of our electronic industry. So what is it that we have to do? First, we have to understand what are the building blocks. Now, you know, I'm an engineer, so I will talk in engineering terms. If you look at electronics, I think the first building block is power electronics. You know, any electronic device, whether it's a missile or whether it's X, Y, Z, needs power. So you need expertise in power electronics. Then you need expertise in control electronics. You need expertise in sensors. And if you get into sophisticated devices, then you need expertise in ability to manufacture gyros. You need an ability to manufacture INS systems. You need ability to do image processing, which means you need people who understand algorithms, who can convert images into algorithms and process it through a computing system, you know, in a data format that is required. So you need all these capabilities. So instead of looking at just products that I want to supply a black box to a Sukhoi or a black box into a missile system, my urge to you as an industry is you need to start defining what product platforms and technology platforms you need to develop. And how can you then put, you know, it's amazing. If you put 15, 20, 30 engineers who understand power electronics, the power of that 15, 20 engineers is not 15 times. It is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into, you know, a sigma of that. And that power is amazing. It's a power of 1,000 times. And somehow in India we have lacked to do this stuff. If we can make this happen, I mean, what Dr. Kiran Kumar talked about in the ISRO example, that is power of bringing people together in an ecosystem of trust and transparency. And that's where the output comes. And I think what Dr. Satish Reddy is also doing in ARC and his institutions in the missile and other areas is exactly the same. And if you as industry can get together, you know, we have already missed the electronic race. The electronic race was missed by India in the 80s itself, when we decided not to bring in technology to set up, you know, high-capacity fab manufacturing or high-capacity computer manufacturing in the country. We thought we could do it ourselves. Unfortunately, that was a big mistake. And therefore, I think industry, entrepreneurs, engineers need to take this as a national priority. It's good business, but I think the nation needs it, as Dr. Reddy was talking about. And let me just give you some examples of what we have done in this area. We are very new to the whole electronic business, but we thought there are 5 or 6 technologies that we must learn if we want to do a meaningful contribution in terms of creating products for the defense and aerospace system, and also to use these products ultimately in the automotive world. Because the automotive world also now needs radars, they need night vision, they need image processing systems, they need all kinds of things that are used in the defense area, maybe at a lower level, maybe at a price point which is much different, maybe at a capability point which is much different, but the basics are still required. So what we have done is we have set up our first electronics research lab here in Hyderabad. Because you need people, you need talent, you need the ecosystem to operate. And we are seeing some amazing results. I think by end of this year, we will have, that's a lab that's designing a seeker system for missiles. We will have developed our own seeker system for missiles. And this is not with any orders or anything like that. This is just to create technology, to create understanding so that we can take it much further. In Pune, we are putting in 4 laboratories. One, a laser lab, understanding how lasers work and how you can use laser for doing lots of things, including high power, low power lasers. We are setting up another lab which will do micro machining. So it will do machining in micron sizes or nano machining type of systems, which is also required for making sensors that we need in our machine tools. Today with Industry 4.0, every machine tool, at least in our company, we are putting in something like 15 to 20 sensors. Out of these 15 to 20 sensors, at least half a dozen of them are pure 3 accelerometers for vibration, which is very similar to what you do for INS. So these technologies are becoming very, very common. The third lab we are putting up is for gyros. How do you manufacture gyros? You know, this one big problem about gyros is it requires precision machining, and I'm talking about mechanical gyros. And when you want precision machining, no country in the world today is even willing to supply you a machine tool which can do this precision machining. If you go to Japan and you say you want to buy a 5-axis machine with accuracies, with micron level accuracies, you won't get MITI's permission. And why I'm telling you all this is, nobody is going to give you this technology in the world. I mean, they are going to give you technology up to a point. The rest of it, I think we have to do it ourselves. And if India has to be a powerful nation, as our Prime Minister articulates, and very rightly so, and not only articulation, I think he's also putting in the policy framework for India to become a powerful nation. It is us, together with them, that is going to make this happen. But this is going to only happen if we work in a collaborative manner, if you work and create an ecosystem, if you work and create these platforms of technologies together. So in your association, you need to create people who can create these platforms. Now, why should a Taiwanese company be the largest power electronics company in the world? You heard of Delta? Most of you? Why should it be? Why can't it be an Indian company? Who is the biggest power electronics company in the world? What is so big deal about power electronics? What is so big deal about IGBTs and putting them together, or embedded electronics and putting them together? I think all of you know how to do this. So there is nothing very complicated about this. In spite of that, when it comes to power electronics, we have to go to Taiwan, or we have to go to Japan, or we have to go to Europe to get our power electronics. So these are the challenges, basic challenges of creating the electronics industry in India and making India self-reliant in what we want to do. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you for all the investments that you're continuing to make in India. Thank you very much. We need more industrialists like you, especially in the aerospace and defense segment.